Julio Cesar Ruibal and the 1995 Cali, Colombia revival. Julio Ruibal had a highly successful evangelistic work in Bolivia during the early to mid 1970s. He held evangelistic events in stadiums wherein many healing and miracle occurred. In 1978, Ruibal relocated to Cali, Colombia and started the church Iglesia Centro Cristiano Colombian. According to Time magazine cover, July 1st, 1990 was the most violent country in the world, Colombia being at that time the world's largest exporter of cocaine, sending between 700 and 1,000 tons a year to the United States and Europe alone. The Drug Cartel controlled the country. It was the richest and most well-organized criminal organization in history. Kidnapping and torture were commonplaces, and up to 15 murders were occurring per day. Bribery controlled the banks, businesses, justice system, police, political system, and anti-drug unit. Drug money was laundered through businesses owned by drug cartels. At that time, there was only 50,000 Christians out of the population of about 2 million. The churches were not working in unity, though not fighting. The churches then would cooperate with and assist in citywide events, but after they were over, they went their separate ways. They worked independently with their own programs, and society saw the church as being weak and fragmented, with few professionals attending the churches. They were considered to be made up of poor, uneducated, and deceived people. The revival is noted for its all-night prayer vigils that occurred in the Civic Center and Stadium in the city of Cali. The numbers that attended these events at times exceeded their capacity, 60,000 people. This shows the desperation that was resting on relatively few Christians in the city at the time. A group named 1,000 Trumpets were formed. This was a group of intercessors made up of 2 to 3 people from different churches. They met for prayer every Saturday, and then during the week, those people would spread throughout the city, leading many other prayer meetings. In March 1995, the Ministerial Association planned their first all-night prayer vigil in the city's civics auditorium, Colisco El Pueblo. The organizers had no planned agenda and only expected around 2,000 people. They were ill prepared for the more than 25,000 that came. One startling result of the prayers from those 25,000 persons were that 48 hours following the event, the headline from the newspaper El País read, "No homicides," for the first time in as long as anybody in the city could remember. 24 hours had passed without anyone being killed. Prior to this, 15 people were killed every day. Another result following the first prayer vigil, as read in the newspaper headline, "The first drug lord has fallen." Corruption has took a major hit during the following 4 months, when 900 cartel-linked officers were fired from the city's police force. All-night prayer vigils in the stadium, with the stadium being much larger than the Coliseum, and Ministerial Association secured that venue for subsequent prayer events. The mayor of Cali, with its population of about 2 million people, were present to give an official greeting at the prayer vigil. Julio Ruibal then preached in the evening, gave an invitation for people to place their faith in Jesus for their salvation, and between 4,000 and 5,000 responded. At the same time, there were also many notable miracles: deaf ears opening, a boy getting up out of his wheelchair, and others leaving their canes behind. Throughout the summer of 1995, the government came down hard on the drug cartel, in addition to the police force being purged of 900 cartel-linked officers. Colombian authorities have captured all 7 targeted cartels. The history of the city was beginning to change, and the churches were stepping from being cooperative to becoming truly united. As the movement continued, those in power felt threatened and they attempted intimidation with theft as well as physical attacks. Ruibal hired a bodyguard, but when the presidential candidate was executed, even though he had 14 bodyguards, Ruibal knew he had to place his faith in God, and he came to believe that he would not die until his purpose on earth has been accomplished. On December 13, 1995, while going to a ministerial association meeting, Julio Ruibal was shot, resulting to his immediate death. The entire city of Cali was moved by this slaying, and newspapers, television stations, and radio programs carried the news of his death for days. One article was entitled "They Killed the Last Living Saint." Attending Ruibal's funeral were 1,500 people, and after the service had concluded, many pastors went to the side and said, "Brothers, let us covenant to walk in unity from this day forward. Let Julio's blood be the glue that binds us together in the Holy Spirit." Following this covenant of unity, signed by around 200 pastors, the churches were more unified than ever, and this led to the city's high-profile prayer vigils and a common vision for the city. His death unified the church in Cali. Julio Cesar Ruibal became his Saul, and he conquered. He lives on.